We're going to jump right in with Ohio State against Michigan, a huge game, huge win for the Wolverines. And first thing we're looking at are some of the biggest things in the game were the turnovers. And right here early in the game, Ohio State's up 3-0. Get a big stop, goal line stop right here. And they're running an out route. Looks like they're trying to run a bang eight, something, a glance here, maybe verticals on this side. And Michigan's just in a quarters look. And right here, you see corner, he's got outside leverage. He's able to see this receiver run the out route through to the quarterback. So right here, cannot throw this out route if you're Ohio State. He's sitting there looking through the receiver to the quarterback who's already let the ball go, jumps it through the inside shoulder, easy interception. Then right here, this is a great play right here, keeping his feet in bounds, trying to score, gets this thing down to about the 2 or 3 yard line, and that was a huge play in this game. I mean, I don't think Michigan scores a touchdown if he doesn't get this thing to about the 2 yard line. If they're still on the 12, 13 yard line, I don't think they get in, and of course they don't score another touchdown all night after they get in after this interception. So it's a huge play, huge shift in momentum here right at the beginning of the second quarter, right after Ohio State had made a huge stop. Can't make this throw against that quarters coverage late on the out route. Great play right there by Amir Hall. Huge play. Of course, they're down. Will Johnson's one of their best DBs, but right there, Amir Hall comes up with a huge play. Another look of just a huge turnover right here, and this time Ohio State's down here on the 16-yard line going in 3rd and 7. They've already got 3 points. So right here, if they just hold on to it and kick it, it's 13-10. But right here on this one, looks like a little bit of an option route. He works out, then he works back in, making contact on that strong safety. That's Makari Page, and he does a great job just kind of recovering. Quarterback's late with this. If he throws it right now, flat him out, I think it's fine. But right there, he holds it for just a half a count late. And then, of course, he throws this behind a little bit as well. You see he's having to stop, trying to get back to it. Makari Page makes a play right there. Of course, physical right there at the top of the route. Great. This receiver, you can make contact, create your own space, get flat, get friendly to the football. Inaccurate football right there by Will Howard. And then great job finishing with the football there by Makari Page. Another huge shift in momentum right here with about 5 minutes left in the third quarter. Keeping Ohio State off the scoreboard right there was a huge play for the Michigan defense. You're going to look at a turnover here from Michigan. That was also a huge play in this game. Fourth quarter, about 8 minutes left. This great drive here by Michigan. Probably the best drive up to this point. And they get a guy wide open. And, of course, the guy that's wide open is this tight end here. He's blocking down, trying to make him think that they're just running that power to the strong side. You can have a puller. He just blocks down. He sifts back to the backside. He's working to the back of the end zone and digging across, trying to open everything up. And right here on this one, D-end. He gets a little bit handsy into the backfield. You see, just stonewalls him right here, thinking he's going to stay into the rush. And once he gets stonewalled, he just really backs up. I mean, I thought this was a great play here. There is nobody left here for that tight end. This D-end, he just backs up. He's kind of feeling that it's a pass at this point, and he just gets lucky and it throws it right to him. Of course, had to have a little bit of awareness on that to make that play happen. So that's a great football play by Jack Sawyer, just being aware of what's going on here. This is on a 1st and goal as well. So right there, if they just sit there and run the football, you think you got a really good chance to score. Right here, play action. Got a guy wide open. You don't really account for that D-end to just drop into it and make a great play right here. Really good play there by the D-end, Jack Sawyer. I mean, good call there by the offense as well. You got a guy wide open for a touchdown, and just a guy just fills it out and makes a play. I mean, Black Man and Orgy right there, he just fills it out, falls into it, and gets a big interception there for Ohio State. So we looked at turnovers, and of course, no real distinct advantage on turnovers. Both teams threw 2 interceptions, so they're even right there. But, of course, running game, that's where the real rubber meets the road in this game. And Michigan, 172 yards rushing versus 77 from Ohio State. And what we're going to look at to begin with is just the run game here from Michigan. And all they ran, man, is inside zone, ISO, a little bit of counter power. But for the main thing, they're just running the inside zone or duo. And on this one, you got a tight end that's working down. He's working to the backside D-gap. Now you got your running back just trying to find some space, and everything gets washed with horizontal movement. There's a kick. Great job here by Orgy getting a lead there from the running back. So now you get an extra blocker out there on this duo look. So a kick and a lead from the back. He sees his safety that's scraping, and he's fitting this thing inside out. And he feels like he can bounce this thing. There's nobody left here on the outside. This is something that Michigan has done multiple times. I remember last year's game a couple of times. It might have been Donovan Edwards bouncing this thing out. They're running duo out a bunch, and Ohio State just squeezes down. They just bounce it out. Now outrun them for an explosive play. And that's what happens again on this one. This time, though, obviously it's Alex Orgy in there at quarterback, which I thought they would maybe do that a little bit more than they did. But right there, kick, lead, just getting extra bodies up there. Safety fits this thing. And this guy that's contained, this strong safety outside linebacker, gets a little bit antsy on squeezing that. And a great job here by the quarterback bouncing it, creating an explosive play right there on duo. Now look here of A little bit of a truck, maybe outside zone, whatever you want to call it, but right there, you're just going to block down. Everybody else is reaching here to the front side. You got a fullback leading. You also got a receiver that's sliding in there, trying to get that safety that's rolling down. Of course, Caleb Downs, you want to try to get a body on him as soon as possible. So right here, really good play here by Tyler Morris getting a body on him. So this is a really physical play here on Caleb Downs. So one of the better players in the country at safety. Tyler Morris comes in there. He's not scared of him. He puts his body on him, puts his shoulder on him. Great block. And of course, right here you can see down block. That tackle's pulling on the outside linebacker. He really wants no part. Just physics right there. He's keeping contained. He's trying to turn it back in. And you've got a fullback leading in there as well to whatever shows up. It ends up basically knocking the hell out of Tyler Morris as well. Now you're running back Khalil Mullins. He's going, makes a guy miss. So right there, a little bit different there in the run game, running some truck, getting outside into the D gap with some big bodies leading in there. Now letting that safety come down and have a free track through the alley to the running back. I thought this was a really interesting look here. Kind of a mix between duo and power, so he's working down here. And there's nobody in that gap, so they're going to double there up to this inside linebacker. Everybody else blocking down, block back, guard pulls. And he's pulling actually to kick right there. Get in there on the safety as well there from that tight receiver. Running back comes downhill, and then he follows in behind that puller. Again, it just looks like a duo. Everybody's blocking down. Now you got a puller out there. Obviously, this is just a power, but probably the same scheme, the same blocking techniques as you would on duo there to the front side. And right here, of course, 2nd and 2. They're still running the ball. We got to make sure we get first downs. And that's what they do right here. Strong run here. Gets about 3 yards after contact and just keeps fighting. And, of course, now the O-line gets in there. Now it's just an attitude play, and they move the pile there, which is what's happened for the past 4 years. Just Michigan being a lot more physical, wanting it a little bit more, and just those little things as far as moving the pile, getting an extra 3 or 4 yards every single time they run it, has really what sets Michigan apart from what Ohio State's been doing over the past 4 years. This is a huge play right here. Of course, you don't have Lovell in this game, so you're really limited in your passing game. You don't really have many explosive players in there, but you're tight end running across. This is great awareness here by Davis Warren. Seeing this Mike just vacate. He chases right there. If they're not open, you're open, and that's what happens right here. He gets way out of the box. Nobody's checking. They didn't twist up front or anything. It opens up right through the A gap, which is what you love to have as a quarterback. Somebody can just step up vertical instead of having to go around a bunch of stuff and then get vertical. But right there, able to go straight down the field. So that Mike vacate. Now they're rolling. Play with momentum. Get a first down right here. The 2nd and 10. This is a huge drive. Got it down there. They ended up throwing an interception. But this really held on the football, kept the ball away from Ohio State, and created some momentum even though they didn't end up scoring. It really frustrated Ohio State, I felt, having a long drive that was really sustained right here. First really sustained drive of the game. Now trying to get a little tricky, of course. Making it look like outside zone. You got Orgy in there. Toss it back to a guy who used to play quarterback in high school, whatever. Now you got a guy running here, and you can try to go to the corner. So corner does get a little turned around. He's got his eyes in the backfield, and they just throw the ball. I mean, it's just a reverse pass. Not a big deal right there with the corner. And, of course, he has no awareness, just grabs the receiver, gets a 15-yard penalty. Of course, on 1st and 10, great time to take a shot, and that's what they do right here. Take a shot on 1st and 10 with that reverse pass. Ends up getting a 15-yard penalty there. Sherrone Moore was absolutely jacked after this call. I mean, he thought he'd have just won the Super Bowl. Ran a reverse pass where they got a 15-yard penalty. And he was jacked. He was fist pumping. He was doing the whole thing right there with about 10 minutes left to go in the 4th quarter. So a big play right there as well. I mean, had it set up, had a good chance to get a big play. Now we're going to go pretty quick, just looking at some inside zone, how they did it here late in the game. And, of course, right here, lots of bodies. You got tight ends, you got fullback. And they're just running duo here to the right. Of course, everybody's basically blocking down. They got inside gap. And there's your receiver working across. That's Tyler Morris. Downhill, get into that wash, find the alley. Right there, you got to be great as far as fitting as a defense. You got to be able to hold your ground. You can't get people moved horizontally or vertically, and you got to be able to fit your gaps. And right here, a lot of movement. And right there, great job, of course. Unblocked guy is probably the smaller guy. So right there, Khalil Mullins does a great job. Even though it's Caleb Downs, great player, he's just holding on for dear life. But Khalil Mullins, he fights. He gets 5 yards right there. Pretty much all of it after contact. Anytime you get 5 yards on 1st and 10, right there on about the 14, 15-yard line, it's huge, huge play right there. Sets up everything in the playbook right there for 2nd down. Let's look right here. You got some unbalanced. You got tight end, 3 receivers over here to this side. Inside zone again, or duo, whatever you want to call it. And, of course, they get a body on a body. They get movement. Here's your unblocked guy. If he would have squeezed really hard, quarterback could have pulled it. Right there, the hand. Guy does get off, falls in late, but still falling forward for about 4 or 5 yards right there on 2nd and 6. Thought this one was a lot closer than what they let on. And on this one, all it is just everybody's wedge block. It's basically quarterback sneak from the shotgun. Hand it to the running back, and he has to go up and over. Is he there? I don't know. I would have thought they would have reviewed it, whatever, looked at it. But really, not much you can review. I mean, move it 2 inches, who knows? So right there, call stands in, getting a first down right here on this one on just basic quarterback sneak out of shotgun. Of course, that was a great drive. I think the next play after that is when they threw that interception. I the DN that dropped. But right here, going to look at that last drive, some of the runs off of it. And right here on this one, again, tight end fullback, all they're running, inside zone. Nothing changes, just changing up the formation, maybe a little motion with it. And right here on this one, this is a huge play. 1st and 10 of the drive. You think, all right, Ohio State's about to stiffen up on defense. And right here they get 8 on inside zone out of a trace set. They got tight end, 2 receivers to the left, inside zone weak. And they fall forward right there. A lot of movement there up front. Khalil Mullins had an unbelievable game as far as running the football, run through contact, creating extra yards that weren't really there, just basically being a ball player. So that was a great run to start a drive right there by Khalil Mullins. Another unbalanced set. This time getting a little motion here, trying to fake it across. It's still inside zone here. Nothing changes. Same look, inside zone, faking across. Gets a little bit of eyes to this on 2nd and 2. So still just want to run this thing downhill. You got a wide 5. I don't know what they think they're doing right there with the wide 5 right there. Easy 1st down right here on 2nd and 2. He's about 4 or 5. Still rolling there for Michigan. Taking a lot of time off the clock. A little bit different run right here. Motion from a triangle or a wide bunch into fullback spot. They're just running an ISO. So right here you're going to get a double team on the A-gap, base, and he's going to ISO on the linebacker right there in the middle. So really good look. There's your double team. Runs straight downhill at that double team. There's your fullbacks filling in for the next guy that shows up. Ends up being this outside linebacker from the far side that's filling in. Kick. Leave Caleb Downs right there in the middle of the field to try to fit in on that running back. And great movement there on that double team. And good job coming off as well as he fits inside because we push it downhill. Great job here by Mullins pressing this downhill, and then he bounces and outruns them to the sideline. So this is a great play by Mullins. And, of course, safeties fitting in. If they're making all those tackles, it's going to be an issue. But great job taking care of those linebackers. And that first level of the defense for Ohio State is obviously really good up front. So O-line was doing a great job right there, really controlling the game at this point. Now here's the play that really kind of sets it up, and all it is again, it's inside zone, split zone. You got a guy working across, motion in. So nothing changes, just change up the window dressing right here, motion in. He's going to kick, body for a body. They're working right there. Safeties are trying to fill in. And on this, if you stop it right here, I mean, there's just a body on a body. There's really nothing there, but nobody's making a play. And right there, Mullins, he runs through an arm tackle. It's Jack Sawyer, I believe, runs through his arm tackle, and then everybody had already fit. And they just don't have the angles anymore to stop them from getting a big gain right there. So, great job. Continue to play right there with the O-line. And then Khalil Mullins run through an arm tackle there by Jack Sawyer. Creating a big play, getting us down into field goal range here for Wolverines. Huge play here in this game. And really the last run that we want to look at, because, I mean, this was really what set everything else up as far as the kick to go ahead. It's a great job by that offensive line, taking care of the down linemen and those linebackers, make those safeties and corners come in and make those plays. So really got to tip your hat to Michigan, what they did against a really good defense. Look at just some of the ways that Michigan was able to stop Ohio State, and of course, it's not that hard to understand. They got off blocks and they tackled well. And when you look at it, Ohio State averaged 3 per carry. Michigan averaged 4.1, so just 1.1 yard per carry was so much of a difference in this game. And right here on this one, trying to get a quarterback run from Ohio State. Of course, Will Howard pretty good with his legs. It's just a quarterback, just a power read right here. Bring a receiver in motion, let him go wide. If that DN goes wide, great. We're going to pull with the quarterback, get downhill with power. If you stopped it right here, you'd say, all right, this is going to be a pretty good gain. Everybody's getting wide. You should have this puller to kick right here. And where does this go wrong? Well, it goes wrong because the center and the guard don't do a great job of this double team all the way to the backside linebacker. They both come off, they split it, and allow this defensive tackle to split it, get vertical. And, of course, as well, this guard, whenever he sees this linebacker go pretty wide, instead of just sticking with what you got and kicking right there, he turns up for nobody. Now the linebacker fills back in. You got the D tackle that had split the double team. That's free. And outside linebackers filling in that are free as well. It gets Will Howard on the ground right there for about 3 yards. So, obviously, O-line right there for Ohio State was struggling. Didn't just stick with their rules and kick the guy that they're supposed to kick, and, of course, didn't stay on the double team long enough. So, just little details there for Ohio State were really the issue. And, of course, Michigan getting off blocks, running to the football, getting guys on the ground. Another look here of, just a very simple play. Michigan's in a 4-1 box, so a 5-man box. You're just going to block all these guys to the mic, and just a zone base right there. 3-tech, he just slips it. He's way too far in front of his toes. Now that defensive tackle, he's free, unblocked in the gap. So pretty easy right there on that. The other thing that you got is a D tackle that's just absolutely bench pressing this guy and then folding in as well. Tackle, my gosh, look at this. This is a Big Ten tackle for number 2 team in the country, and that's just really bad football. He's lunging. He's got his head way out in front of his frame, and the DN is just going to swim that. I would say any decent high school defensive end is going to swim that and make you miss as well. But right there, unblocked D tackle, DN that just jumped out of the way, a guy that's trying to lunge at you, and it's a 5-man box, and they can only get 2 or 3 yards. If you're doing that as a play caller, I mean, I know Chip Kelly, everybody's talking crap about whatever he called. I get it. There were some calls that were really questionable, but man, it's a 5-man box, and those guys can't execute well enough to get more than 2 or 3 yards. It's going to be a tough night for whatever you do. And here is a call that Chip made that everybody was kind of questioning. I mean, it's 3rd and 10. He made a couple of these where it's 3rd and long, and they just run the football. Right here, running a draw. And right here, this is just straight draw. There's no option to throw the ball. These guys are just blocking. He's slipping. He's blocking the safety. I guess thinking that these guys are going to get way upfield and be able to draw right there. I mean, you got bodies on bodies, but again, these guys can't execute. Guard lunging, swam by or whatever, just rips by. Now you got an unblocked D tackle. Everybody else is condensing this into the face of the running back. Nowhere for that running back to go because the D tackle is free. Guard lunging, unblocked defenders right there, scraping in, stops them right at the line of scrimmage. Last thing we're going to take a look at is just the last drive for Ohio State, how they ended up only getting 1 yard right there in the drive where you got to have it to get to the Big Ten championship game. And right here on this one, 1st and 10, you only got a 3-man rush. You got one guy spine right here. You got a flood route basically, so you got it out. Looks like he's running a fade, maybe a post curl, check swing there by the running back as well. So right here on this one, Howard, he's going over here. He's trying to hit this out route. And right here, defense drops. Mike gets into it. And really, you got outside leverage here. Corners being able to see through his receiver to the quarterback and the outside guys. So really nowhere to go. You are getting this pocket condensed as well. So really good rush here. Bull rushing here by Kenneth Grant. Obviously, big-time player right there. Walking right through the D-line. Probably should have been a holding call as well. He has a hand on him. Just has to throw it away right there, 1st and 10. We'll live to play another day. Very next play, though. I mean, you still got the same personnel in there. 20 personnel. Chip, he's getting out. Running back, he's chipping as well as he's going to the flats. Now you got an unblocked guy. Again, just a spy. You just 3-man rush. This guy's spying. Nobody's got eyes to him. So right there, he just blitzes late. And now he's in the quarterback's face. You got to get it out right now. Getting absolutely smoked there by the defender linebacker. It's a completion, 1 yard, getting out of bounds. Right here on this one, great play here by Josiah Stewart. 4-man rush. You got a spy. You got DBs out here playing basically quarters coverage. And Josiah Grant, I mean, he just goes bull rush, just bench presses that dude, condenses this pocket so quickly to the throwing arm of Will Howard. Really nothing that he can do. He spins out of it, just trying to make something happen. Maybe even could have got a holding call right there, but just that pass rush. Now he's got to get out. Everything's off, and he just ends up throwing it away right here, trying to save a little time, get to 4th down. And right here on this one again, 4-man rush, basically the same call that they had last time. Again, Josiah Stewart coming off the edge. But these interior guys as well, they absolutely condense this pocket right into him, so there's nowhere for him to step up. Great job again. Bench press that he got to his upfield shoulder. Now I'm going to spin back. You can't be run past the quarterback. So right there, get back to it. Everybody's condensing this. Great job pushing it back in the quarterback. Nowhere to go. Tries to go vertical. Now the DNs that had been washed upfield are converging right there on the quarterback. That was a heck of a sequence right there from that D line, getting after the quarterback. I mean, this is textbook. I mean, you're condensing the pocket from the inside. These guys are trying to speed rush, condense it from the outside in. Once they get to the quarterback, spin back. Don't just ran past the quarterback and too much pressure. Nowhere to go with the football right there on 4th and 10. Huge stop there for Michigan. And, of course, that leads to the celebration and maybe a little bit of mayhem at the end, but that's fine. With all that being said, man, awesome game from Michigan. Able to find a way to beat Ohio State. I mean, number 2 team in the country, kept them from going to the Big Ten championship. As a Michigan fan, if you're going to have a down year, I mean, you're at 6-5 before this game. Now you're at 7-5. And you can say, hey, we beat Ohio State, who's supposed to go to the Big Ten championship and probably still going to be a playoff team. But we beat them, and we did it at their house. And this is probably the least talented team we'll have for a while. We're about to get some absolute dogs in here. We're still able to beat Ohio State. Doesn't matter what happens. We're going to beat Ohio State at the end of the year. So, great game. I mean, to get a little bit of goodwill from the fan base for Sherrone Moore is huge. And just to find a way to win. Man, unbelievable game. But if you enjoyed that video, make sure you look right here. Click on that, and you can watch that video next because YouTube thinks that you'll like it. But anyway, we'll see you guys again in the next one.